Wonder what the RV's at.
All right, hey everybody. We are going to get started here. I got a sleepy little baby hanging out over here, so hi. You may hear him getting all warmed back up for the day. I hope you guys had an awesome weekend and are getting back into the groove of your week pretty well. Oh, excuse me. We had a very long Sunday for this little one, so the last couple days we've been trying to get back up to speed after that. We are going to talk about CBD today and what it is, why it's so great, and why we like the Nature's Ultra CBD so much. And so we're going to get started here. Hey, do you want to say hi? You can say hi there. Yeah. Okay. All right, so let's start with what's the difference between CBD and marijuana, and why is that important? As I think we're all starting to realize, CBD is not just a fad. It's becoming a staple in a lot of communities around the world. And certainly here in the U.S., it's becoming very popular to offer CBD. Can you see yourself there? Yeah, is it pretty great? But let's dig down into why that is, and we're going to talk about what it is, what the difference is, and why that's important. It makes a big deal, or it makes a big difference. But to start with, please remember that we are not doctors nor scientists here. And so I'm not prescribing anything or giving you any advice in like a professional capacity. I'm just sharing with you some information that we have here, and wanting to let you make some educated and informed decisions yourself, and then you can continue to do more research or whatever you feel that you need to do. So let's get started here. Oops. All right, so what is CBD? For starters, CBD is not marijuana. They both come from the same plant, cannabis, but they are different varieties. Marijuana is, hi sweetheart. Marijuana is produced when the hemp plant is grown without the male variety present. The resin produced from the small hair-like appendages, which are called trichomes of all female plants, is full of THC, which is what produces the psychoactive effects associated with marijuana. CBD is a natural substance from another variety of hemp, and it is produced when the hemp plant is grown with both the female and male part. The resin produced is full of CBD, which does not contain the same psychoactive effects as THC and only has small trace amounts of the CBD in it. Here, hold on. Come here. Here you go. So let's talk about the history of CBD for a minute. It used to be illegal, so let's talk about why it used to be illegal. CBD is a natural substance from the hemp plant, which originated in Asia and the Middle East thousands of years ago and has since spread. Excuse me. It showed up in the U.S. in the 16th century, and farmers used to be fined a certain percentage of their production, or they used to be fined if a certain percentage of their production was not hemp plants because of how useful the plant can be. Hemp is used for paper, food, fiber, construction materials, clothes, and other products. So what changed? In the 1920s, a negative media war was waged on hemp due to financial reasons, and it was eventually deemed a Schedule I controlled substance. This category is for substances that have no benefit and have a high potential for abuse. In July 2018, CBD was downgraded from a Schedule I controlled substance to a Schedule V controlled substance, meaning that it has some benefits and the potential for abuse is low. The FDA changed the category so that a drug containing CBD called Epidiolex could be sold, which does seem a little bit ironic. Finally, in December of 2018, CBD went from a Schedule V controlled substance to an unscheduled substance due to the Hemp Farming Act of 2018, which removed hemp, which is defined as cannabis with less than 0.3 THC, as a controlled substance. This means that the federal law made CBD legal in all 50 states. Keep in mind that some states have their own regulations about this, so it is important to know what those are in your own state, and your employer, especially if you're in the military, could also have their own regulations, so that's also important to keep in mind that may be different, but at a federal level, CBD is legal. So let's talk about our endocannabinoid system, or our ECS. The endocannabinoid system is a biological system composed of endocannabinoids, which are, endogenous, lipid-based retrograde neurotransmitters that bind to cannabinoid receptors CB1 and CB2, and cannabinoid receptor proteins that are expressed throughout the vertebrate central nervous system. All of that to say, in layman's terms, the ECS is linked to your central nervous system and peripheral nervous system to help the body maintain homeostasis. In a general sense, homeostasis refers to stability or balance within a system. It is the body's attempt to maintain a constant internal environment. And maintaining a constant internal environment requires constant monitoring and adjustments as conditions change. If the body gets out of homeostasis, the ECS sends out natural endocannabinoids and enzymes to regulate the body and bring it back into homeostasis. For example, when you get too hot, your ECS kicks into gear and you start to bring your body temperature down. If you get too cold, you shiver. When you get hungry, your stomach growls. When you get tired, you yawn. CBD primarily interacts with the ECS, making it a highly sought-after product through Young Living. So let's talk about THC versus CBD. Now that you know what the ECS does, let's take a look at the difference between THC and CBD in regards to the cannabinoid receptors CB1 and CB2. Your CB1 receptors are in the central nervous system, the brain and nerves of the spinal cord. And the CB2 receptors are found all over the body in the peripheral nervous system, which are your nerves in your extremities, the digestive system, and specialized cells within the immune system. THC acts on CB1 and CB2. When it attaches to CB1 in the brain, it causes the intoxicating effects that are experienced with cannabis, with hashish cannabis and marijuana. It also affects the peripheral nervous system when it attaches to CB2, which is why some people smoke marijuana to help feel calmer and to decrease pain. It's also why cancer patients receiving chemotherapy can be prescribed medical marijuana, because the effects on the digestive system help to prevent nausea. It is, resituating my kiddo over here. It is important to note that exposure to THC does have its risks, such as developing schizophrenia, failure of a drug test, or participation of illegal activity based on your state's legal position on the topic. Some people are also genetically more sensitive to THC as well. CBD does not bind directly to either of these receptors. Instead, it impacts them indirectly by modifying the receptor's ability to bind to cannabinoids. These indirect actions include activating another receptor called your TRPV1, which is an integral part of the endocannabinoid system. If you want a CBD isolate so that you don't have THC in your product, then Young Living's Nature's Ultra CBD is the perfect place to get started. And we're going to talk about why that is in just a minute after we talk about terpenes. So why are terpenes such a big deal? Terpenes give plants their aroma. The fragrant imprint of each plant is a result of different combinations of terpenes. Cannabis is unique in that each strain has a unique profile of terpenes. Terpenes are believed to have many positive effects on the body, and these properties can act independently as well as in addition to what cannabinoids can offer. There are several known and studied terpenes that exhibit different medicinal effects. Overall, terpenes contribute to the medicinal properties of cannabis, a phenomenon known as the entourage effect. Think of a team of players versus a single player. The team is the entourage effect of terpenes and cannabinoids. Now, where else have we heard of terpenes? Hey, now. You're mildly distracting, son. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah. So where else have we heard of terpenes? Somewhere that I and some of you also use every day. They're in our essential oils. Terpenes and all of their many multitudes of positive effects are found in our oils. So how are we going to choose our CBD? There's a lot of, excuse me, I believe FedEx may be here. Maverick, hey, that's enough. That may go on for a minute. So there's a lot of chaos when it comes to the availability of our CBD products. There's so many to choose from. I don't know about you guys, but some of our local gas stations are selling it. There's CBD shops popping up everywhere. It's all over the place. Which for me makes me question sourcing. Sourcing is a big deal when you're talking about stuff like this, because certainly when you pick up your CBD oil at a gas station, it makes me wonder how good it really is. So we need to talk and think about the quality of our products. It's also important to know the difference between your full spectrum CBD, your CBD isolate, and then smart spectrum CBD. Full spectrum CBD still has some trace THC in it. So while you won't get the psychogenic effects of straight THC like marijuana, there's still a possibility of exposure to THC, which may or may not be an issue for you. Certainly, depending on your employment situation and your state's regulations, that could end up being a big deal. And depending on how your body reacts to it, could also be a big deal. Hey, try not to spit up all over everything while we're doing our class, okay? Yeah, okay. You can say hi again, though. It's also important to note that hemp is a phytoremediator by nature, and phytoremediation is nature's way of using living plants to clean the soil and groundwater. So hemp absorbs the chemicals and toxins left in the soil, and traces of heavy metals that are absorbed from the soil could be left behind in a full spectrum product. So that's also important to consider, because where your plants are grown is a huge factor in the quality of the final product. A lot of people gravitate towards the full spectrum CBD because it still contains terpenes and many other compounds, and thus delivers the powerful entourage effect. Whereas the other way to produce CBD is in the isolate form, and that is pure CBD. So it has 0% THC, no heavy metals, no other compounds, but it also has no terpenes in it, and therefore we lose the entourage effect. But let's go back to what we talked about, which was where else we can get our terpenes from, and that's our oils. So we can add our essential oils to the CBD to create a synergistic effect and thereby increase the benefits of our CBD isolate that we're using. Nature's Ultra did just that. They combined their organic CBD isolate and the terpenes from Young Living's essential oils to create Smart Spectrum CBD. And that is what we're using now here at Young Living. So let's talk about using it and what that looks like. So our CBD is labeled for topical use. So you clean and dry the area, and then you can vigorously massage however much you feel you need onto your skin. They generally recommend a dropper full or so, not to exacerbate whatever is bothering you in the area, but just kind of rub it in a little bit and then reapply as needed. Some suggested places to apply are temples, neck, elbows, knees, other joints, wrists, soles of your feet, your heel, back of your foot, and your shoulders. If you're new or sensitive, generally sensitive to things, you can start with our regular strength CBD. You can even use half of the recommended amount and increase it as you read your body and notice how you're feeling. Once you're more experienced, you may decide you want to try the extra strength products. While this product is to be used topically, keep in mind that CBD is broken down in the liver. This is done by the same enzymes that a lot of pharmaceutical drugs are broken down by. Therefore, it is possible for your system to get a little overworked trying to break down too many things at once. So, as with anything, if you're concerned, we suggest talking to a doctor before starting something new. But that's where, and that's why, because you just don't want to overload your system if you're already taking some things, or if you're concerned about interactions, then you would want to double check with whoever your care provider is. Hi, yes, we hear you. Yes, yes, we hear you. It's nice to have you join us. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about what we've got. One of Young Living's big claims is our Seed to Seal promise, and that is extended to Nature's Ultra products. So all of our CBD products are held to the same standard as all of our other ones, all of the farms out in Colorado and everything. Everything is certified 0% THC and certified organic and non-GMO. So let's talk about our products. We've got our Calm Roll-On. This helps to create a peaceful environment that will help relax and quiet your mind. This is perfect for dealing with the stress of the day or winding down at night, and can help give you soothing, restful sleep at night if that's an issue for you. This is infused with eucalyptus, frankincense, lavender, orange, vetiver, and ylang-ylang from Young Living, and is available in 2 strengths, 300 milligram and 600 milligram. The Joint and Muscle Balm, which is one of my favorites. This is I used to live on the Cool as Well pain cream, which I still love, don't get me wrong. But this is one of my new go-tos, is this muscle balm. I like to put it in my neck and shoulders when I get stiff, or my knees when if I get stiff after working out or something. I've also got, I actually got one of their little bitty tins that they offered over Black Friday. And I put that in John's Oils case. But if you wanted to do that, you could just get a little tin of some kind or a little container. Hey, we're talking over here. We're talking over here. Get a little container and scoop a little bit in if you wanted to put some in your purse or send some to work with your husband or whomever. That's a great option. He loves being able to have that with him. When you use CBD topically in the form of a rub, you get to target specifically whatever your sore area is. This takes the hot and cold sensation of menthol and gives it a boost by infusing it with camphor, clove, helichrysum, lemon, peppermint, tea tree, wintergreen, and I think even a few others. These all work together really, really well to be very, very soothing. I have been super impressed. I think we have the 300 milligram and absolutely love it. So this is also available in 300 and 600 milligrams. And then we get to our CBD oils. We have 3 different options: cool mint, citrus, and cinnamon. And we'll look at all of them in just a second. These are in great little dropper bottles and available in 500 and 1,000 strength. The cool mint contains peppermint and spearmint. The citrus contains grapefruit and orange essential oils, and then cinnamon has cinnamon bark essential oil. So I've used the cool mint and I love it. I'm waiting for the cinnamon 500 milligram to come back in stock, and then I'm gonna pick that up. That's the one I want to use next, and I think that's the one I'm gonna stick with. I really love the cool mint. However, when I was using it daily, I felt like I noticed a little bit of drop in milk supply for nursing because of the mint, the peppermint. And so I decided I'm pretty sure I could combat it and be fine, but it doesn't seem worth it. So I'm going to switch to the cinnamon and use that one instead. These also contain stevia, which is a sweetener, which I can't give you a lot of details on that, but if you want to know more about why that might be, give me a call sometime and we will talk about it on the phone. And then I'll tell you all of my opinions on that. So your obvious next question is, how are we going to get this, right? So let's talk about that. We have starter kits now. So for anyone that is not a Young Living member yet, this is fantastic. If you're looking for CBD and not really anything else right now, but you want the option, this is it. Even if all you ever want is the CBD, but you want to be able to get it at that 24% discount, this is the way to go. So each kit comes with a calm roller, CBD muscle rub, and a citrus 500 or citrus oil. And then you can either get the regular strength or the extra strength starter kit. The regular strength is 165, which is the same as our regular premium starter kit. These are not currently available to members like our premium starter kits are. You can only get these if you are not yet a member, but if you have any friends or family that are not, this is a great way to get them introduced to the CBD products. If you are a member, then that's fantastic. And we are going to talk about how members can get these in just a minute. But first, let's revisit really quickly why we would use this versus something we can get at the gas station or at the local CBD shop in town or whatever. For starters, this, again, we're talking about a CBD isolate here that Young Living uses, which means that there's no THC, so you don't have to be worried about using it with kiddos when you're going about your daily life. If that's a concern to you, you don't have to worry about that being in there. And also doesn't contain any heavy metals or anything else out of the soil. The farm is a seed to seal farm, so that already offers a lot of confidence in what the plant may be pulling out of the ground. But by then extracting it into a CBD isolate instead of the full spectrum, you're just making double sure that there's nothing in there. All of our Nature's Ultra products are tested in multiple stages throughout the manufacturing process for potency and purity. Our CBD is derived from hemp plants grown on our partner farm in Colorado without the use of any pesticides. So there's none of that in the plants. All of our products have been subjected to rigorous laboratory testing to make sure that it contains the optimal amount of CBD and is free of heavy metals. And our harsh chemicals are never used in our manufacturing process, thanks to Nature's Ultra proprietary extraction methods. And Nature's Ultra is also ISO and GMP certified. ISO is a manufacturer of CBD distillate and isolate from industrial hemp, and GMP is good manufacturing practice, so they have several certifications specifically in that field. And all of our ingredients are natural, organic, vegan approved, and gluten-free. So if you're looking for a clean source you can confidently pick up your CBD from, this is the place to do it. If you already have a Young Living account, we talked about how to get started with a starter kit. If you already have a Young Living account, you can get these right in your virtual office. You can just pick it up on a one-time order if you want to. However, as you know, we are big fans of Essential Rewards, and you can now put your CBD on Essential Rewards. This is new as of February, and we are all super excited about it because this means that not only do you get your membership discount, you get to earn Essential Rewards points back on it. You get to add it to your monthly box, and so you don't have to pay for shipping. You don't have to place another order. You just get it all in your monthly ER box, and you are set to go. So that's super, super exciting. We're going to talk actually in much more in depth about Essential Rewards next week. But if you're not on ER yet, you can enroll. You'll start out earning 10 points or 10% back on each order in points for the first 3 months, and then 20% for 21 months after that. And then at 2 years, you'll earn 25% back out of each order in points that you can turn in for a free product. So that's the best way to pick it up. Let's jump on and discuss a couple of frequently asked questions quick. Let's see, I covered, yes, okay, so we can get our CBD on our ER orders. you receive the same 24% discount on your CBD products that you do with every other Young Living product. As far as any of that is concerned, they function just like any other Young Living products as far as discounts, commissions, bonuses, anything like that. All of that is exactly the same. It's now a full partner of the company. So that's all very exciting to us. If you have any other questions about CBD, feel free to reach out. This is it's definitely an up and coming topic. It was kind of a fringe thing for a long time, and it's becoming much more mainstream, much more popular now. So if you're interested in learning more and jumping in and trying some of this, then we would be happy to support you in any way that you feel you need that. So shoot us a message, give me a call sometime, or whatever works best for you if you have any questions on this. Otherwise, jump on your virtual office, add some of this to your March order, and let us know what you think about it. So I hope that you guys have an awesome rest of your day, and we will talk to you later. Can you say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a good week, guys.